Welcome to the Believe in Your Office podcast, sponsored by Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture, the podcast where we explore what makes workplaces work. Every episode features candid conversations with leaders, business professionals, and workplace experts who've been in the trenches. They share the real stories, the wins, the failures, and the lessons learned about culture, teamwork, and leadership that actually matter. Let's get into it.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Believe in Your Office podcast. I'm your host, Josh Smargiasky, and today I have a really good colleague and friend, Adam Rain, joining us. Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
Adam is a seasoned veteran, as we say, in the office furniture world. Been in there. Well, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and what you're into.
Sure.
One of our top manufacturers. Ton of knowledge. I'm really looking forward to getting into a conversation about what you guys are seeing, what's changing, and what everyone can kind of like maybe get prepped to see over the next couple of years as things evolve forward here. But go ahead, Adam. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what your background is all about?
Yeah, thanks. So I've been with Global for 25 years, so seasoned veteran. Though Global's has its 60th anniversary this year, so certainly haven't been around that long. But yeah, it's exciting to see how, where we've been to who we are today and where we're going. And most of my time for the past 10 years has been in this area, the Northeast, so Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, Delaware area. But yeah, I'm sorry, it's where my time's been the last number of years now. Yeah,
No, that's awesome, and I know you don't. You're an avid bike rider, right? Do a lot of cycling.
I am. Most of it's centered around where the next coffee shop is. So I start out and I go, what's my halfway point to turn around? And it's either, 15 miles out for a 30 miler or 40 mile or, whatever I feel like for that day. But I gotta have a coffee as the midway point. It's
That's awesome.
I'm a weekend bike rider. Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool though. So you just plan where you're going based off of where like a cool coffee shop that you maybe not have been to yet has been.
exactly. Yep.
So how do you? Is it just like sometimes you're like, I'd like to go north or south today or east or west, and then you just kind of map it from there?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, sometimes I'm like, do I want to get in my, put my bike on the car and drive to Washington's Crossing, and it takes me an hour, so I got to plan the day around it versus, just getting out from my house and going east, west, north, south, wherever. Often it's through Philly. It makes me feel like a courier riding through Philly in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
Yep.
I bet.
Yep.
We use carriers.
So good time.
Carriers a lot. You could always. That's a nice little thing you can fall back on it for 25 years.
Sure.
Chairs on your bike.
As long as they're flat folding chairs that weigh nothing, that'd be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so just a little bit of history for the viewership or the listening audience, so to speak. Global, one of the top manufacturers in the country, really, and North America, to be honest, plus some global presence as well, North and South America or Central America, to say the least. And you guys have been. I mean, your story of how Global was founded is one of the coolest as far as. Do you want to just touch on that real quick and then we can kind of move forward from there? I mean, you guys are like over $1 billion now, right?
Yeah, roughly when you add up Canada, basically North America, yes. Privately held, but in that general area. Yeah.
But Saul started it in basically this garage, right?
Yeah, pretty incredible. I actually just saw a picture of me with him 20 years ago, with a group of other people. I thankfully I think still look similar, but definitely have added a little extra on the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saul, I don't know how he had the forethought. It's one of those you something doesn't pan out from a business standpoint of where he was to then just say, hey, well, I'm going to go into business on my own. And it's one of those working out of your garage to making your way up to all of a sudden having 3,500 plus employees and millions of square feet of manufacturing space. So quite a success story. The guy knew
Yeah.
my name and he knew everyone else's and spoke multiple languages and, really created a family of people that wanted to work hard for him.
Yeah. And I think, we talk a lot about culture
Yeah.
on the show. And I think, you guys, for a company as large as you are, and I know his son Joel's been like really big on this as far as
Yeah.
continuing to grow the culture and can maintain the culture that was started is really important. And I think a lot of what we talk about on this show about, what we do from an office furniture standpoint or commercial real estate and kind of, how we engage with employees, more than just furniture itself, but the culture that is building is just, it's incredible. And I think when his first vision, to piggyback on what you were saying, of building a chair for the everyday man,
Right.
someone or woman in that sense, for someone who, at this point was looking at these chairs going, these are really nice, but they're so darn expensive. I need to really figure out how can I build something. There's got to be a way that we can build something that's a little less expensive and still has some quality. And then
Yep.
explode from there, from one chair into three chairs, into desks, seating, filing, cubicles,
Right.
cafeteria, hospitality, healthcare. It's really, really incredible story.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I think, part of the culture that's really cool. I mean, you guys do this great trip every year. Every industry has their, actually, that's where you're going in a couple of days. Actually, you're going to the main event, as they say, for most industries having these trade shows or conventions. Ours is every June. But in addition to that, you guys have this great customer appreciation trip that you do every year that just shows the
Right.
culture every year of how, you guys are just really thankful and also, really collaborative with your customer base to kind of keep the culture building, which is so hard to do if you think about it from going from a company that was in your garage with a couple of employees, starting with yourself, to then having it be multi-generational and then also as $1 billion is
Right.
really, really crazy. So for you being there 25 years, I'm pretty sure that's probably one of the reasons why you stayed so long as well.
Yeah, it's tough to think of myself somewhere else, though. You always wonder, but it's just the culture is great, and I've benefited from being there, and hopefully they've benefited as well. But yeah, we really do, t work very hard to make sure that everyone is working for the same goal. Everyone's compensated towards that, as opposed to, having infighting and trying to decide, well, whose customer is whose. It's sort of like everyone's customer is everyone's. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and that's the way it works when you're working towards one goal.
Yeah.
As a small company, easy to see, but like I said, reiterating, having it continue forward like that with such a large company is really incredible as well.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that Grand
So
Getaway, I know, sorry, real quick, that's sort of like, become the envy of the industry in many cases, having people hear about it. And, but it is really a tremendous opportunity to, to say thanks to those people that have supported us so well. Right.
yeah, and I think what's really interesting about that trip is that I tell our sales staff all the time that we need to really be focused on paying attention to detail, because in our world we do design based selling. Essentially, we're designing office spaces, the flow of an office, and the intricate day-to-day tasks that are accomplished within an office. You have to think about it in a different, it just in multiple lights, and then pay attention to the detail really matters, not only from a finished selection and how things look and feel to kind of help build the culture and carry that through for each
Yeah.
organization, but also how everything works together. And you guys on that trip, the thing that's so funny, I've been lucky enough to go on a few different trips with you guys and also some other manufacturers, and the attention to detail that you guys and Michael and this team have is incredible, because from the little stickers that are on the toilet paper in every bathroom,
Right.
not just your hotel room, to the the vinyl effects that are on mirrors throughout the space.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
napkin has logos, and each toothpick that goes in a martini has a little blue global symbol. I mean, that stuff is really what tells you, what the main focus of a business is, and like knowing those little things that
Hmm.
matters. And I think that, I think that for our listeners, it's, hey, this is what you think that we don't think about this stuff in the background, but when you tell us about what you want in your office and how you want
Yep.
things to grow and evolve and really breathe, this is, this is how we prove to you that we're always thinking about that, which even in a fun atmosphere, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's important. I visited a customer last week who, was really not upset with us. They're upset that maybe they didn't think about, their own culture or how they're going to be using the office. And we all know about construction delays these days. So 6 months went by from when they ordered the product to it going in, and all of a sudden they're seeing it and they say, God, this isn't exactly what we were expecting, despite, they pulled the trigger and knew what they were getting at the time they placed the order. And but at that point, and this is important, I'm sure you do this too, but it's like you've got to take a step back and say, well, let's live in this place for a while and see if it actually does work, or we can add details or make changes. And I don't know, that doesn't go to the detail of like a trip down to stickers, but it's important to kind of understand what people are doing and where and how loud they might be, or if they're a really boisterous group versus like heads down. And all that stuff does matter to us, obviously, as we're trying to give someone a quality space, right? You guys, us,
Yeah,
including in general. Yeah.
100%. I mean, those are the things that, like you said, let's live with it. A lot of times we have that conversation all the time with our clients, and they'll say, well, let's add a chair here and let's put another table over here and we need to do this here. And we're like, you know what? How about we pump the brakes just a second, just because, it's probably best that you live in it for a little bit and see what it's like.
Right.
Um, it's interesting. I was just sitting here taking some notes as we're talking. I'm going, you know what? I'm looking at what was the number one. You've been there for 25 years.
Okay.
Do you know what the number one TV show in America was when you started?
In 2000, I want to say, I don't recall when Friends ended.
You got it. It was Friends,
Was it Friends?
but Friends, but also CSI, ER, and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Wow. All right.
You're kind of a
Crazy.
little bit. You live a little bit of a Everyone Loves Raymond life. If I got to be honest, like, it's just a little bit of opposite. I mean, I got great stories from you about how your
Yeah.
father-in-law and you were very, very close. You have this a lot of many, many laughs. He likes to tinker around.
Oh
Very
man.
well known, respected doctor, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I was wondering if he was going to come up. So I took a picture of him this weekend because it was a little cool outside in the morning. So and again, I'll anyone that's listening at some point, he's a brilliant, just he's a dermatologist, 82 years old now, and just but when he's at home in our house where he lives with us, he just wants to look like he owns nothing, walk around with holes in his shirts that he puts smiley faces around so he can hide the hole. So he's walking outside in a long, heavy winter coat this Saturday morning, and he didn't want to bother us, so he had headphones on, old school foam headphones, the little ones, plus the giant like construction headphones, noise canceling ones over them. So it was double. So he couldn't hear us and we couldn't hear him. Yet I've never seen someone double up on headphones. So crazy, weird guy.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Oh man,
Yep.
that's so funny. I can picture that too with the old foam headphones and his own noise canceling headphones. That's
Uh-huh. Like you might as well have, the old Walkman headphones, right? With the little foam around it.
right.
Yep. Right.
That's great. Well, I
Yeah.
started doing that because I was like, what has changed 25 years ago from now? Like, man, I
Oh,
forget what the most popular TV show was, and I go, what's interesting? What if you had to like really remember like when you first got in the industry and people were asking for things? What has changed? I know something's coming to my head right away, but what has
yeah.
changed you since 2000, 2001 to now looking at 2026? What is obviously that's a long stretch in the industry. But what's
Yeah.
changed most that you can remember?
I mean, I don't know what you're thinking of, but first was the conversation of we're trying to go paperless, which took many years for that to, really take hold. And there's still some out there that are pretty heavy and paper intensive, but they're far and few between. But I would say the big thing was to me that stands out was we were talking filing a lot, and obviously we don't talk filing these days. And I have to refer back to our price book for details if someone does ask me a question. So, that was certainly one thing. Everything has to have power now, as opposed to it wasn't like that important, back in 2000 necessarily. What are you
There's
thinking
one
of?
spot where you needed to put. That's one spot where you needed to put it. I think the first thing that came to mind as I was asking the question, because I don't always prep for these shows, because now that I'm getting into the couple dozen that we've accomplished here, I realize that once I prep, then the conversation goes another way, and I'm just like I waste all the time. But the reason I'm saying that is because as I was asking that question that came to my mind, after you said you've been there 25 years, VDT Corner popped up in my head, and I was like, "What is a VDT corner?" I'm like, "Oh." So for those, like, I was thinking to myself, no one's gonna know what that is, but basically a corner insert on a workstation or a desk that
Mm.
there's like this, a flat surface. If you can imagine an L-shaped desk or a desk that comes together, they have like two little spots that create like this connection.
Then, right.
You're just butting up to it. Well, the VDT corner gave you like an extra extension where you can sit flat in the corner, but then also gave you a deeper surface because you had those huge computer screens. I mean, they were,
Yep.
were enormous, and then you'd have them sitting on your desk, and you were like, you had nowhere to write in front of you. So they're like, "Oh, we'll create this corner that's really big." Now you don't. No one has for them. There's
No.
title corners, comfort corners, and stuff. And as I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm going, I wonder if everyone's falling asleep as we're talking about this.
Possible. It's possible. Yeah, that's definitely funny. I wonder what, there's got to be like a graveyard of just of old CRTs, out there somewhere. But yeah, that's a big one, absolutely. Now it's like I don't even need, I mean, we're having this and I'm sitting in just a random boardroom as
You're
opposed
in
to
my office, and I'm in
I
my
know.
Orlando.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But just show up, turn the TV computer on, and you're good to go. So it's
We've
crazy.
been talking. We've been talking a lot about that, what the integration of AI and the integration of technology means for the future of the office space and the
Yeah.
future of employment, in general, right? Like, what is that? What does that mean? I mean, as we're sitting here talking, I keep getting these pop-ups. It's like, you want us to take notes? We're taking notes. We'll send you notes. We're listening to your conversation. And if you can get past the big brother thing of them knowing everything that you're saying,
Right,
then you
right.
go, okay, maybe I'll listen to your notes and I'll go back, and then you look at the notes and you go, okay, great. Now what do I do with them? But the technology is changing rapidly. And I think Global's been on the forefront of kind of adding those, like you said, even like the power that goes into seating and lounge seating so that you can charge your phone while you're waiting in
Yep.
the lobby for your room to be ready. That
Yep.
kind of stuff is really, really some of the biggest changes that I remember from starting to now.
Yeah, I mean, and height adjustable tables certainly weren't a big, I mean, if they were, it was extremely expensive, if back in early 2000s, and now it's like you almost have to get it to attract people, number one. And then two, it's so inexpensive to not get it, whether you use it or just someone else uses it, when you're not there.
Yeah, I mean the ability just to have different heights, be able to work at different heights, to stand when you want, to sit when you want. Those things
Yeah.
were never thought of as ergonomic or anything. Now they are pretty standard, like you said. It's as simple to put that in as it was. I remember actually having static bases, and someone asked for my adjustable, and there was like, remember the cranks? Like, it was almost like a
Yeah.
window in your car.
Yeah.
You had to crank it like a window in your car, and I'm like, you
Mm.
imagine just in the middle of the day, you're like, all right.
No, no.
I want to stand.
Although no one's going to remember.
Crank it.
This is going to get really old, but no one's going to remember the chairs where you had to swivel them for them to go up and down. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
time I was sitting in the conference room, and I'm like, how do I get this to go up? You had to literally spin it
Right.
on like a thread, and it would spin up or spin
Crazy.
down and go lower and higher. Made it
So
really
now I'm going to make fun of John, one of our sales guys, but last week he said, I heard someone has an app that allows you to see how often you're standing up and down, at your height adjustable table. And it's like, we have one. It's a global app this isn't a commercial, but for our free fit table series, it's Bluetooth. You go on the app and and it tells you exactly when you go up and down all the time. So
oh
just,
really?
just funny that he's sitting there thinking he had $1 million idea in a sense, and it's like, dude, it exists.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Usually,
Yep.
So you got this. We were talking about this big like convention we're going out to.
Yeah.
You're going out to Chicago every year. We go. You guys go out there. I'm not this year. I'm skipping. I have a couple of sales reps coming out, but what it's interesting when you go out there. Well, why don't you tell like a little bit about the merchandise mart and what that you have you been going every year for 25 years?
I have. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, it's definitely changed through the years, but NeoCon is the name of the international trade show that's in Chicago. And it's always been at the Merchandise Mart, which is a, massive building. I forget the statistic, but at one point it was the largest commercial space in the United States, roughly. So it has its own zip code. Pretty impressive, gigantic building.
Incredible. It's like a whole city block. It's huge.
Yep. Yep. So things have changed where there's now a migration of most manufacturers over to Fulton Market, which is it's just a really cool part of town where it's all old buildings that are converted into industrial. I mean, office, but industrial like spaces. And so we left the mart at the end of last June, last year's NeoCon, and so we have the grand opening of our new space at Fulton Market. And so that's exciting. Number one, it's just a brand new space on the second floor, so you can see us from the street, which is different than being inside, some building somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible. We do also still have offices to go over in the mart in the trade show space, so it'll be separate, but still going on if you wanted to see both. But yeah, it's like 20,000 people show up for the trade show. It's like our CES, our electronics show. It's just massive for the furniture world. And it's fun to be a part of and just smile for 72 hours.
It's a long day, man. I remember those trade shows. Well, every industry has them, like I was saying, and everyone knows that you sit there. I mean, you got to be at you're on. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you got to be there for 14, 15 hours a day and standing, and every person that comes by, it's like Groundhog's Day. You have the same conversation.
Right.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah.
Pleasure. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Let me show you this. Let me show you that. And then by the end of it, you're just like, oh,
Exhausted. Yep.
How do I get out of here?
It's nice to be a customer if you can be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, then you can kind of play the day accordingly. But the merchandise mart is a pretty incredible building. I haven't been to Fulton Market actually, but Mart's huge.
Yep. Yep. So exciting, part of the year. Part of the year.
For sure. You guys have anything? You got anything that you're able to like sneak peek? This will come out way after that anyway. But
Yeah. No, you know what? To be honest, there's probably a couple. There's always a couple new seating type of items, but I do know that this is being our 60th anniversary. It's sort of back to who we are. So it's just an overall, new iterations, overall look of Global today. So not a big product launch specifically this year. Yeah, but new space, attract different people that might not have seen us in the mart. They'll see us in Fulton.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of another like. Do you know another question from 25 years ago?
Oh gosh. Okay.
What was the most popular song from 25 years ago?
Popular salt?
Song.
Oh, song. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the most popular salt, by all means, tell us.
Yeah, I was like, that's a weird one. Although, I mean, I'm sure, salts have gotten popular. Man, 2000? I don't remember if this was high school.
I put 2001 in just because.
All right. No, I have no idea. I mean, Nirvana was probably earlier than that.
Way earlier.
Yeah. Man, can I have a hint?
Yeah. Well, I think I can give you the top five. I mean, I can't. You definitely know the top five. There's
Britney Spears. That was probably high school for me too, 90s.
I mean,
Yeah.
It was 10 years earlier. The number one song of the year was by Lifehouse.
No idea.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hanging on a Moment. And then number two is Alicia Keys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you see now you'll have to now you have to remember this so that way when you get to 50 years of global, you'll be able to, go into asking what the most popular song of 2026 was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to tell you how to listen to new music at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
so
still listening to, Talking Heads. I got to get up to current, I guess.
I love Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure. I wonder what your father-in-law was listening to under his.
Oh God.
noise.
He's listening to medical podcasts. He's not listening to music.
Uh,
And by the way, my Spotify age is like 64. It's sad.
no, no.
My daughter, she's 21. She's actually like 84. It's a
Really?
bizarre. Yeah, I guess I don't know
I
what the
didn't
heck.
think you could look that up. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you can check out your age based on what you've been listening to all through
Well, your
last
age
year.
is definitely not that old with all the bike riding into. You're in good shape.
No.
You're
Nope.
you're there. Well, listen, it's been great catching
Yeah.
up. I appreciate the time and enjoy the show this week. I think it'll be you're not riding your bike out there, are you?
No. If I am, I'm starting today. So
Yeah, it would
yeah,
take you a little bit of time. Well, you could
check
drive
in
it
with me.
to have someone chase you. You should do that one year. That'd be like follow Adam on his way to Neocon. That would be easy. I think we just came up with something. Follow Adam on his way to Neocon.
I mean, as long as I can get paid for it, I'll do it.
Yeah,
If
right.
they
You
pay
just
me
you
for
could
it,
leave.
yeah.
You could leave. Here's the best part. Like you could leave like in the end of April, and
Right.
you could just take a month to get out there,
Yeah.
and you could land there, and then it'd be
Somehow I'd hope I'd be past Chicago if I left in the end of April, just so you know.
Oh no, you could just take your time.
Okay. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks for
Adam.
this.
Yeah, no, thanks for your time. It was great chatting with you. And as we always say at the end of the show, make a little noise quietly.
Your office isn't just where work happens. It's where culture is built, ideas are born, and teams come together. And if your workspace doesn't support the people in it, everything else becomes harder. That's where Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture comes in, supporting communities in Orlando, Florida, the tri-state area, and everywhere in between. Boomerang and Common Sense both specialize in high-quality office, hospitality, healthcare, and educational furniture that doesn't just look good, it performs. Whether you're furnishing a growing team, redesigning for hybrid work, or just need furniture that actually works for how people collaborate, Boomerang and Common Sense make it easy and affordable. Visit boomerangofficefurniture.com to see how the right furniture can transform the way your team works.